So this is a little weird. I've got this next story here. This is how I introduce the story. This is my scene transition, right? Whenever someone clicks on my videos, right, they're like, oh, this person's going to be talking about the news. No, I'm just going to be taking a sip of coffee and doing like a really unfunny intro to all of my clips, right? This is what I do. I'm unfunny. I'm not funny. And I'm also, is it unfunny or is it de-funny? Because, you know, like how, like, if you're, like, is de-funny like I used to be funny and then someone de-funnied me? And then unfunny is like I was never funny to begin with? I'm not sure. But either way, I'm very de-funny. So I've got this news article from CNN. At least 140 House Republicans to vote against counting electoral votes, two GOP lawmakers say. Could you imagine doing that? Right? Could you imagine? Like, yeah, I'm gonna stop the steal. What? You're gonna stop the steal? Let's read. Two Republican members of the House of Representatives tell CNN that they expect at least 140 of their GOP, also known as GOP, colleagues in the House to vote against counting the electoral votes on January 6th, when Congress is expected to certify President-elect Joe Biden's victory. President Donald Trump's Republican allies have virtually zero chance of changing the result. Why do they say virtually? They have zero chance. Let's be honest. What is virtually doing there? Why? Who wrote this article? Who wrote this article? I'm calling you out. Jake Tapper? Fucking Jake Tapper? What the? Fuck you, Jake. What do you mean virtually zero chance? What does that mean virtually? Like, okay, they've got virtually zero chance. Does that mean like in a virtual simulation they've got zero chance, but in like the real life they've got a decent chance? What is virtually zero chance? Doesn't mean anything. That word shouldn't be there. Of changing the result, only to delay by a few hours the inevitable affirmation of Biden as the Electoral College winner and the next president. Both a House member and senator are required to mount an objection when Congress counts the votes. Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, working class hero, by the way. The dumb left were like, Josh Hawley's working class hero to the left of Bernie Sanders, said Wednesday he will object, which will force lawmakers in both the House and the Senate to vote on whether to accept the results of Biden's victory. This is good. And I'll explain more in a second. This is a great development. This is a wonderful development. If you are not excited, if you are not like January, that's like next week. This is going to be awesome. Just hold up. Let me read this. Other senators, including incoming ones, could still join that effort, Tommy Tuberville, which Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has privately urged Republicans not to do. Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse spoke out against the strategy and the complicity of some of his GOP colleagues in a Facebook post Wednesday night, urging Republicans to reject the effort. The president and his allies are playing with fire, he wrote. They have been asking, first the courts, then state legislatures, now the Congress, to overturn the results of the presidential election. They have unsuccessfully called on judges and are now calling on federal office holders to invalidate millions and millions of votes. If you make big claims, you had better have the evidence. But the president doesn't, and neither do the institutional arsonist members of Congress who will object to the Electoral College vote. Again, it's a good thing. This vote is a good thing. Again, let me read. Among more than 12 Republican House members who have already publicly said they'll vote against the counting of the electoral votes next week are Reps. Mo Brooks of Alabama, who's spearheading the effort, Jody Hice of Georgia, Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey. Remember that guy, former Democrat? Isn't that guy Van Drew? Isn't that the former Democrat? The fuck? Jeff Van Drew, isn't that the former Democrat? Yeah, he left the Democrat. Okay, so Van Drew went from being elected as a Democrat to, wait a second, I disagree with this impeachment, to, by the way, they stole the election. All right. And Joe Wilson of South Carolina. Included in that group are 8 Republican lawmakers from Pennsylvania who announced their intentions in a joint statement earlier Thursday. Several incoming Republican House members have also said they will object to the certification process, including Rep-elect Marjorie Taylor Greene. I am going to be covering Marjorie Taylor Greene a lot more now that she's in Congress. I just want to give you the heads up on that. I covered a little bit more than most people, I think, her primary and when she won her primary. She is an openly where we go 17 all person, right? I'm just saying that so that Google doesn't do the thing, right? She is openly in favor of all these conspiracy theories. She thinks that the current, sickness going around is fake. It's not real. This person is batshit. This is the new marker. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I want you to know this. That is the new marker for batshit Republicanism. She is the furthest right batshit Republican in Congress, and so I'm going to cover her a little bit more. Madison Cawthorn of North Carolina, also known as Wheelchair Nazi. Lauren Boebert of Colorado, who is also a Where We Go 1739. And Diane Hashbarger of Tennessee. So again, these people are fucking nutso. But let me tell you why I think this is a good idea. Why is this a good idea? Because what it's going to do is it's going to put on the record every sitting Republican is either going to vote for or against the President of the United States. That's what this is for. Right? You're going to have people who, like Mitch McConnell, who are going to have to vote against the president. Maybe, I don't know, just maybe you're going to have some senators that are up for election in 2022 that are going to have to vote against the president of the United States, right? This is a big vote for the Republican base because, again, remember when David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler were up on a stage at a Trump rally and Trump was trying to tell everyone to vote for them, and instead of everyone screaming, woo, what did they do at that Trump rally? They screamed, fight for Trump, over and over and over again until David left the stage. Right, the Republican Party is fracturing, and it's going to be fucking fun to watch. Right, you know how all these dumb motherfuckers, oh, the left is eating itself. Oh, the left is eating itself. I can't wait to watch the reverse. It's going to be really fun. Yeah, so definitely stay tuned. Also, again, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's going to be very interesting. Yeah, this is going to be really fun. This is going to be fun to watch. If you're not looking forward to this, I'm sorry, you're not a real person. Plain and simple, you're a Russian bot. What can I say?